Get through the first bonk and realize it's gonna be okay.
Put that on a t-shirt, please. Welcome to luxurious El Dorado skate park, Freestyle skate park. That's Maria. I'm back home. I just spent like a week in North Carolina, a week at Braille up in the Bay Area, which was fun but exhausting. I love Braille. So we're back and we're gonna practice some freestyle stuff. I want to see if Maria's got some rail stands. Actually, I don't want to see. I know she has them. I'll let her talk more about her own skating. Why am I speaking for her? You got rail stands and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Do I?
I don't know. I feel like you've been doing all kinds of new stuff.
So I haven't tried doing a rail stand on this board. I think I switched up.
Ooh, because you were skating which one before?
The Witches.
The Witches, and this is the Dancin. Let's get a close up of that. I kind of want to show people like the easiest rail stand tricks. You have kind of the basic rail stand tricks down, and then you recently landed rail flips on the other board.
Other board. I haven't tried them on this.
You haven't. Rail stand. So you can do heel side rail stands like no problem now, almost.
Yeah, it was because of that day where we were trying to get the rail flip, and I had to get into rail. So practice those a lot.
That was looking good. Oh, you're doing it off the tail too.
Should I do it off the nose?
I like that. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Okay, before we get to that, I want to show the people at home how I learned rail stands and give them a quick breakdown of that. You cool to hang out for a minute while I do that? Sick, thank you. Rail stands. People call them primos, but they're actually called rail stands when you're stationary. So we have heel side rail stands, that's when you turn the board towards your heels. And we have toe side rail stands. It's where you push the board forward so that the grip tape's facing the same direction as your toes. You push it towards your toes. Now there's a bunch of ways to get into them. My favorite way to learn traditional rail stand, a heel side rail stand, by going from tail stop to rail. You go to tail stop, use your front foot to push the board over, and then step up onto the rail. Now you can do a bunch of other versions too. You can do just a heel side rail stand by pressing the board over, toe side rail stands, you can kickflip into rail stand. The options are pretty limitless. You can kind of go any direction with it. You've been kind of figuring out your rail stand tricks. You said that you were skating a different board and you just switched back to that one, right?
Yes.
Can we talk about some of like the first rail stand tricks you ever learned?
Yeah, tail stop to rail was the first thing I ever learned on the monument.
Is that like your first freestyle trick? Or one of?
Yeah. No, the yo-yo hops.
Oh, those are fun too. Can you show us those?
Yeah.
Just do like a full rundown of like our favorite beginner freestyle tricks.
Somewhat.
Yours are higher than mine now.
A rail stand.
Sick.
And then back down. That one was scary. And I know someone, I can't remember their name, they've been working on getting down from rail, but they always like push out. And that was my biggest problem when I was learning to get out of rail. But it's kind of just like a drop down.
So you're saying you need to like kind of just let it fall, right?
Yeah, it's a lot in the toes. You use your toes to push it down. You can kind of already feel it.
It starts to rock.
Yeah, so it's just that. I would try and find like a gate to hold on to while you're like stepping down. And just kind of like wean off of it.
I'm just picturing somebody in a contest run, like finding a gate next to the contest surface and being like, wait, 1 second, and then doing their rail stand
I gotta get out of rail
dismounts
first.
on the gate.
I mean, it helps when you're starting out, because it can be scary, especially if you're not a child. You don't bounce it. I stopped bouncing like years ago.
Same.
You either push through your first big bonk, or you like decide that's it.
Yeah, you fall and you're over it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you through your first bonk.
Get you through you gotta get through the first bonk and realize it's gonna be okay.
Put that on a t-shirt, please. Can we do two more? Like 2 more super easy rail stand tricks that you enjoyed?
So when I started learning rail tricks. I saw Steph Radmore post a video of all the ways to get into rail, and I was like, yes. And I watched that video so many times, so then that's
like
when I started practicing like toe side rail, heel side rail.
Let's see your heel side rail. That was solid. You almost had it. So one thing I do notice that you do when you're doing pressure rail stands, or the regular heel side rail stand, is your back foot is like almost on the ground.
Is it? Oh yeah.
So your back foot is hanging off like crazy.
On the wheel.
You're like reaching for the wheel almost, right?
Yeah, and then pulling it up to me. My foot doesn't really move. I've just noticed that.
Your back foot doesn't move?
Yeah, so if it's here, it'll get brought up this way.
Right.
So it really doesn't like scoot anywhere. The wheel fits perfectly right here when I do that, and then I'm like stable there.
The sweet spot?
Yeah.
Would we call it the sweet spot? Sick. And those were like some of your first freestyle tricks, I feel like.
That was. Like when I think one of the first videos I did was of that toe side rail.
Heel side rail.
And heel side rail. I did both.
You did both?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you just brought up toe side rail. Can you show us toe side rails?
I don't know. Those scare me.
All right, people. So a toe side rail stand, the way it works is you'll have your feet over the bolts and you'll kind of press down on the toe side rail. That is like the front edge of the deck. And by pushing down and forward, you'll be rocking the board up onto its side so that the grip tape is facing forward, same direction as your toes. That's a toe side rail stand. There's a bunch of different tricks you can do out of toe side rail that you can't necessarily do out of heel side rail. So I'd always recommend people try to learn both versions of the rail stand when they're getting into freestyle. Now it's super important when you're learning the toe side rail stand that you focus on pushing down and forward. However, you keep your back straight and you jump straight up in the air. Boom. So once you're in a toe side rail stand, getting out of it can be a little bit spicy because you can't really just fall back the same way you would fall forward in a heel side rail stand. You kind of have to jump a tiny bit and focus on pressing the board back and down and with your toes and the balls of your feet. Like that. It's not a super complicated trick, but like we were saying, it can be a little scary because you don't have constant contact with the board when you're pressing it forward, the same way that you have constant contact when you're reaching for the wheel on a heel side rail stand, or the way you have constant contact on the tail stop heel side rail stand.
Cars, football, steak and beer.
Okay, toe side rail stand. Do it for the steaks and beer.
Steaks and beer.
No.
I'm so scared. It's the bonk. I'm scared of the bonk.
Keep your back straight. Do all the work with your knees and get low. Get low like Utah.
Don't be scared.
Yes. Oh, come on. Yeah. You got this. You got this. You got this.
Oh! I did it. Woo!
Thanks so much for being in this. Thanks for learning tricks with us and teaching us how you learn stuff. I feel like I have a pretty limited perception, I guess is the word, of ways to learn tricks because I learned them a long time ago. You are fairly new to freestyle still, right?
Yes.
You've been skating for how long?
Since November.
Since November only? I thought it was longer than that. That's crazy. Great. You're learning them in real time with a lot of you at home. So I appreciate you.
Just get over that first bonk.
Get over the first bonk. We'll see you soon back in the garage. Let's come back. Thanks for watching. Be sure to, I don't know, let us know what tricks you want to learn. I'm trying to be better about getting trick tips up here and helping everybody out who's actually asking for help with tricks. It's good to see some people learning, some of you at home trying this stuff and just going out there and freestyling again. Hopefully we can do more of these in the future. But let us know what you think. Keep dancing and we'll see you soon. Later, y'all. Wasn't the rail flip I wanted, but it's the rail flip I deserve.